And staying with Somalia, families have refused to bury the bodies of their loved ones until the government takes responsibility for killing them. At least 10 people, including 3 children, were killed in a U.S.-backed military raid in Bariire village on Friday. The deputy governor of the surrounding Lower Shabelle region, Ali Nur, insists the bodies would be stored until the government pays compensation. The move is a particularly jarring action in a Muslim culture that buries its dead quickly. Somalia's army has acknowledged some civilians died during the raid. It initially said all the dead were members of the Al-Shabaab group. The U.S. Africa Command is also investigating reports of civilian casualties. Well, let's discuss this issue further, and I'm joined by Hassan Sheikh Ali Nur, who is a security and strategy analyst. Sheikh Ali Nur, thank you for joining us. Now, relatives of those killed in that U.S.-backed raid want the Somali government to take responsibility. How should this issue be resolved, and are compensation demands likely to be met by the government?
First, let me to express my condolence for those who lost beloved one. And then the second part of the question, or the first one, is the people or the relative of the people who passed away. They have the right to know why the people were killed and who killed them. So to ask that question to the government is a legitimate question, and the government should carry out investigation and then to get out the proper answer to their inquiry. And according to the official news from the radio Mogadishu, yesterday the members from the government, they went to site to investigate and to see in proper way what actually went wrong, and then what are the causes of the civilian casualty in that operation.
Well, there are those who are arguing that the U.S. was mistakenly drawn into a fight between rival Somali clans. Could international forces in Somalia have failed in proper intelligence gathering at this point?
That's a difficult question, because as you said already, if there is the rival clans, they are there on the ground, and then they are not working together but against each other, and then to give the misinformation or the providing the faulty information to the U.S., then the U.S. The army, they will carry out their operation and they based on that misleading information. And that's why right now the casualties are come out. So what to do now? The U.S. and the government must make sure the intelligence gathering they are collecting from the site, and to make sure the safety of the civilian.
So just how difficult is it for forces battling Al-Shabaab militants to avoid civilian casualties?
Usually, normally it would be very difficult, because the Al-Shabaab are not the regular army. They are themselves also the civilians, and then they can mix it up in the civilian areas or the population, and then everything must be mixed up, and it will be very hard to find the ways and solutions to do this business. But on the other way, the things are going on, and then sometimes they are getting their target, and sometimes they are missing to kill the civilians. And that's what's going on, and this is a global phenomenon. There's nothing to do with the Somalis. This is not the particular to Somalia's security environment. It's everywhere, and then in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Egypt, everywhere the security forces are killing the civilians. And I feel sad to see the civilians who were killed by the regular armies. But this is the condition. We cannot say anything about that.
All right, Hassan Sheikh Ali Nur joining us there from Mogadishu.